about this, about a few strange things that happened, like in a week's time. I had one filing, and 2 days later, another filing. So I had one where the gentleman an hour from me west had ordered over $100 uh, brand new men's dress shirt and with tags on it and everything. And like 20 days later, he sends a message through eBay that he didn't receive the item and to kindly refund him. I was like, whoa. And so, anyway, the tracking number proved that he received the item. Nowadays, the post office GPSs, that's a one plus about shipping through the post office, is they literally have a little machine and they read the tracking number with that machine and it GPSs the exact location. So the postmaster can look up that GPS at the post office on the computer and it shows a picture of the property. And they can verify that, the item was dropped off at the right property and everything. It's amazing. So anyway, I won that one. They deposited the money. I had some other sales since. I got a lot of sales actually in the last 30 days, oddly enough. Usually it's really slow. And I get like one or two orders a month. But anyway, so, 2 days later, after this guy filed, then this other person files for some money yellow stripper boots 1 hour east of me. And uh, it went on for like 20 something days. They filed a bank chargeback for over $100 on those booties. And uh, then I had to do an answer to eBay. And the way you do it is they'll send you this thing, you just had a bank reversal with something, and it's like you don't even know what it is. So I called eBay first, talked to the rep. They explained it to me that it had been charged back through the bank by the customer. And it's like, are you kidding me? And I shipped. So anyway, uh, that uh, you have to file a response, and you get 1,000 characters or letters. And I spent, a whole day writing all this stuff out. And I had watched another YouTuber's thing and said, oh, they wrote a whole page of stuff and all. You will never get to put all that in there. I'm gonna tell you right off top. And because I made my points first and then I itemized it all out in order, readjusted it again, then put it in another order, and that was a total waste of time and effort playing with that for 24 hours. And because you only get 1,000 characters. So you might as well just do it in bullet points and just go boom, 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 and just state the facts and a final closing sentence. That's it, because that's all you're going to have the room to write in there. And then you get to upload like 4 pictures or screenshots. You can do it on your phone, you don't have to do it by computer. And so I entered, it already had a copy of the original ad, and I entered a copy of some of the text messaging the customer sent, a copy of the tracking as it progressed, and it had been sitting in limbo at the post office for like 2 weeks or something. With signature delivery confirmation, $100 insurance, tracking number, the whole thing. And the customer never picked it up. But when the customer filed the bank reversal, they stated the order was canceled, which that was a lie. I didn't cancel it, they didn't cancel it. Buy it now, you got 60 minutes or less to cancel a buy it now order. Anything beyond that, You're asking the seller if they will do it, and they don't have to do it. Because, I mean, it's a legal and binding contract. You agreed to buy it, you paid for it on the spot, and, you know, the seller only has 3 days or less to get it to you, and I ship out sometimes within an hour of an order and always less than 24 hours. So, you know, that's about how I do it. And this looks like my Cadillac that I used to own is just driving by here. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So anyway, um, so the item's sitting there. The customer sent me some weird message of, and I hadn't got the package either, so I don't have your product to return it to you. And it was like, oh wow. So I don't say anymore. You know, I'm not there to argue with them. You know, I received that notification from eBay to answer. You know, at that point, I hadn't answered it yet. I went ahead and did my answer. They say it takes like 2 or 3 months to settle it out. Meantime, eBay revoked my money on that order, and it sits in limbo until it's all finalized, investigated. Now, the answer that you're filing actually goes to the bank too. It's a response. The bank requires a response from the seller. So that's whether you bought it at Sears or you bought some at Walmart or whatever it is. The bank requires a response from the seller, um, so that they can make sure it's a legit thing. Okay. And so, anyway, and see, I didn't know all that. But anyway, so you're filling out that response, and it's also going to go to the bank. And the bank, you know, make sure that it's a legit deal. Well, buyer lied. So I wanted to tell you what has transpired since, because we went over this before in a previous vlog. So what has transpired since? That investigation sits in limbo. My money is still repossessed. And on the 9th, the buyer went to the post office and signed signature delivery confirmation and took the boots. That's right. They canceled the payment, did a chargeback, claiming that that the order was canceled, which it was not, and then turned around and went and picked up the items at the post office with signature delivery confirmation. Now, the only thing to remember is it's a federal offense if you do anything illegal through the post office. It's federal. It's not a game. It's federal. Other than the fact of putting a false claim to a bank, chargeback reversal is fraud. That's bank fraud. And I mean, they can close your account. If they see you've done it 1 or 2 times, they will close your account. And then also you have the option to block the buyer from buying any more from you. And I mean, that could happen. You know, even if they're not looking at what the seller's name is for an item, they click on it, want to do buy it now, and they end up buying from you again on accident, even. And it's horrible because they'll probably charge you back again. So you don't want that. So you got to block the buyer. Your other option is to leave feedback. This buyer hasn't left me any feedback. I haven't left any. And I don't even know if you're allowed to. I'm kind of waiting to see if the customer does something right. I was blown away when I found out that they picked up the package, because the package was due for return on the 15th to me. Yeah, because the post office had already put 3 notices out. I've been to the property several times. And also the buyer's phone number is on the front of the box. I always put the buyer's phone number because they give it to us. I put it on there so that way the post office can call them and say, by the way, we have your page, and we just want to let you know, you know. So it's really convenient that way. But other than that, uh, I called eBay, went round and round with them, like 16 calls, couldn't get through to them. Finally got through, and I get this low grade rep, foreign rep. It's like reading stuff off of little papers, I guess, for answers. It makes no sense at all, telling me that I need to harass the buyer and say, okay, well, you got my product, so drop the chargeback. I don't think that's my position in this because I'm supervised by eBay. I think that's all on eBay, because I still can file legally to the post office for theft, which is a federal charge. So I still have that option. But I think eBay needs to handle it because the purchase was, finalized with eBay. And plus, there's, an open case right now under investigation between the bank and eBay on this. I just was blown away that the buyer went and got that package. I mean, after they canceled the money on it and they went and got the package. That's like stealing twice, you know? So I don't know. Again, like I say, after you put in your response to eBay, it's real short and sweet. So don't you think it's a big, long, hairy thing because it's not. It's a few pictures and 1,000 characters. It's just so many sentences you can put in there. And so, uh, it can be like 2 months, 3 months for them to finish up whatever it is they're doing. The bank also has their options. Like I said before, they could close the person's account. If this is a habitual thing they do, they'll close their account. You can also file with eBay, and report the customer. And so I did that yesterday. I reported the customer's actions yesterday, um, to eBay. And my biggest problem was I wanted to update the case. When I called yesterday, I wanted to update the case, letting them know that the buyer had picked up that package. Because when I replied, with my answer to that case, at that point, the thing was sitting in the post office forever and was only a few days from being sent back. And, once you go down and sign your name to that signature delivery confirmation, they got you on video. It's like for sure you picked it up. So it's theft. But anyway, so that's what's going on at this point. um, Again, like I say, it can take 2 to 3 months, they say, for them to settle that out. Somebody's child has the remote and keeps flicking the alarm key. But anyway, so, I don't know. But in the meantime, I got no product, no money, and it's over $100 and very disappointing. Um, so I don't know what to, do at this point. Um, Very, very upsetting. When I called eBay again, I just was running around in circles by some rep reading stuff off of papers and telling me to do stuff that I don't think is appropriate at all. Um, Especially when this stuff's under investigation. So I don't know what the buyer is thinking. I haven't a clue. The buyer is a long-time buyer since like 2013 or something like that. And yes, they buy a lot of shoes. Um, but I looked at all their stuff on their page with eBay, and they have all real good ratings. But who knows how many got dropped off of there? Because a lot of times you can file and have them dropped, or if it's under investigation, then nobody can comment. Is a lot of times the eBay rule. So hopefully, if they're habitual in pulling a stunt like this where they'll cancel an order or whatever, and sellers get burned like that repeatedly, then they'll just terminate their account. And so I don't know, but we'll see what happens. It's really, really sad. I work so hard, and my stuff is not charged or bank loaned or anything else. I own my stock outright. I've always run my business that way. I watch competitors fail and everything else because they're writing $3,000 bad checks to buy a bunch of fabric to sew a bunch of stuff up for tomorrow, and stuff like that, and racing to the bank to try to put the deposit in to clear and all that. And man, you're just looking for jail time. That's not how you run a business. I always took so much and put into my cars, and I took so much and put back into the business, for supplies or whatever, and paid my bills and did my taxes. And I've made very, very good money for a great many years before the pandemic hit, and that basically shut me down. And so, you know, um, I don't ride by the wire. I own my stuff outright. So when you're stealing from me, it's like you're stealing my wallet. You know, it is not appropriate, and it's just really bad business. I mean, how can you be trusted if you're gonna do shitty crap like that? Order something on eBay and then do a bank chargeback and claim it was canceled, and then the seller has already shipped, and you let it sit at the post office forever, and then you decide to go pick it up, sign for it. I don't venture they're gonna drive to drop it off in person. And I don't even think that's permitted anyway. But anyway, so that's what it is. Just thought I'd give you guys an update. If you've gone through chargebacks like this, let me know what you've gone through, and uh, how it went through. I will tell you that one of my kids did an eBay transaction on a Coach pocketbook many years ago, and she claimed the buyer claimed they didn't put something on the same pocketbook or the same picture she used or some kind of crap. And she fought them to try to get her money back or the product back, and got burned on eBay with that, and it was just horrible. I got burned for over $1,000 on one transaction with eBay, and many years ago, eBay and PayPal. Fought it through eBay, failed. Fought it through PayPal and failed, and it was horrible. And what I should have done, because everything was signature delivery confirmation. What I should have done was, talk to a lawyer to see about how to file on expert um, and file on theft, because that's a lot of money. $1,000. Yeah, and that was really shady. Oh, that was like 12 big boxes of stuff sent to that customer, all signature delivery confirmation and insured, and with registration numbers on every single piece of porcelain. Man, what a ripoff. But anyway, I hope you have a great one. And again, let me know if you're a seller, you know, how you handled it and how it went through. Um, and other than that, we'll talk to you guys later.